For me, honestly, the Ricky Kasso tale is the most fascinating story. It's the most fascinating story in the world. I mean, it's honestly a film that I wish I could make and remake 2 or 3 times. It's a small story with incredibly mythic qualities. It's a tale of a very powerful friendship. And it's a theme or a genre which used to be very popular in its day, the genre of somebody selling their soul to the devil, back when we used to believe in the devil, selling it for earthly riches and power, and it's a tradition that goes all the way back to Faust. And yet, with Ricky Kasso, here we have that same story played out in contemporary modern day, or Long Island of the 1980s, with long hair and heavy metal music. Unlike Faust, who was given the world and all the riches the devil had to give, and eventually punked out or chickened out at the end and tried to embrace the church, young Ricky Kasso clung tight to his satanic faith and followed it all the way to its tragic finish. Another mythic aspect, in a way, of Ricky Kasso's life is the way it breaks down into almost 4 elemental acts. I used to call the first act Earth, where Ricky pretty much lives in a small town, lives his life, and walks and works and suffers with the rest of us. Wind, where he discovers a new, powerful philosophy, Satanism, hallucinogenic drugs, music, heavy metal music, and the chemistry of all these together lift him in a powerful, dizzying wind up to new heights. Water would be the third act, where Ricky leaves home, gets ill, dreams of California and everything that he had hoped Satan or satanic philosophy would give to him. Everything seems to go unrealized. He grows increasingly frustrated and desperate until finally he's pushed over the edge into our final act, which is Fire, where Ricky commits the ultimate sin, murder. Ironically, at a campfire at night, and from there his life goes up in flames. I discovered the book Say You Love Satan while rummaging through my favorite dirty little bookstore in Hollywood, and I saw this small paperback with a chrome cover, and the cover says "Say You Love Satan." I'm coming right off Flatliners, so my interests and leanings go in that direction anyway, towards the metaphysical. And so I grabbed that book and read it, and I was immediately entranced. I felt that here was a small story with tremendous implications, real mythic, universal themes which resonated deeply throughout it. And I knew that was the script that I wanted to write and hold on for myself and tell one day as maybe my directorial debut. In 1990, I optioned the book and began working on the screenplay. And I would work on the screenplay, work on another film, take a job, go back to the screenplay. I did the craft, come back, which also explored some similar themes in a softer, more feminine way. But Ricky, or the story of Ricky, or Ricky Six, is another protagonist who's looking for more out of life, who's looking for magic, like the people in Flatliners, like the girls in the craft. He's looking for a little sparkle in life. So, to me, that's heroic. It's part of a heroic journey. Ricky took the left-hand path when maybe he should have taken the right, and the result was disastrous. Writing the screenplay for Ricky Six was difficult and different than writing Flatliners of the Craft, which were works of pure fiction. And here I was constrained by certain parameters of fact and reality and not wanting to deviate too much, and yet wanting to build up the drama and to introduce all of the magic and the mythology that I saw within the little tale. So writing the script was a real challenge. And also my protagonist was dead, so he wasn't somebody I could interview. His accomplice, Jimmy Troiano, was very much alive, but I didn't want this to be a film where you have a buddy story and you tell it from Jimmy's point of view primarily, and everybody's more fascinated by the Ricky character. I wanted to tell it because Ricky was the fascinating character, and Ricky is whose head I wanted to try to get into. I was definitely tempted to contact Jimmy. The truth is, I knew that he was, at one point he was in jail, and he had bounced in and out, and and then I sort of felt that Jimmy and the hard edge of Jimmy and who he was really wasn't what I wanted to explore anyway. What I wanted to explore was Ricky, and his search for a place in the universe. One of what I felt was my biggest challenge was to create, since this is a buddy picture to a large degree, was to create a real friendship between the Ricky character and the Tommy character. I was able to get them up in Canada, keep them together for 2 weeks or so before shooting, and I would come up with exercises for them to foster this friendship and to foster their feelings as outsiders and headbangers or whatever you might have. At one point, one exercise after our day's rehearsal was to send them out to the shopping mall with $5 each in their pocket, and just like a real teenager would be, and to amuse themselves for 3 hours, whereupon we would pick them up. Another one was I gave them my credit card, and I said, let's pretend that it's after the murder, and you two are on the run to California, and a college student picks you up hitchhiking, and Ricky steals the college kid's credit card. So now here's the credit card. You two go out on the town and see if you can pass it off. Do whatever you want to do, but stay in character. And the actors had great fun with that. And I really think it helped. I mean, I really think that the friendship that we created and that still exists between these two guys translates into the film. I'm not much older than the characters in this story, and there are many elements which struck true or resonated with me, I would say. I grew up in small-town America, Mystic, Connecticut, very much like Northport, Long Island, and I knew quite a few kids who dabbled in the drugs and embraced the music, and many of whom, or a few of whom, who were lost along the way, and it wasn't much of a stretch, to see where a kid like Ricky came from and to know, and for me to empathize with him. Some of the incidents in the film are actually pulled not necessarily from Ricky's life, but from friends of mine. Seeing Jesus in the supermarket and slitting your wrists happened to a friend of mine while tripping. So I knew Ricky's, and I really relished the chance to tell a story from their point of view, and to try and put a human face on kids like that.